Here's a harsh rule of thumb in life. If they have a gun, they make the rules. So just shut the fuck up and play along, even if you're absolutely sure you did nothing wrong. Put a big fake smile on your face, don't make any sudden movements, keep your hands where the officer can see them, and obey the officer's commands. Trust that things will be sorted out later if you haven't done anything wrong. This really shouldn't be all that difficult if you are in fact not a criminal.
Hey everybody, Roger here. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is the NFL Hall of Fame inductee Randy Moss and his tie. He wore a tie that, according to him, honors police brutality victims. Okay, there's two things here that I want to discuss. The first thing I'll just get off my chest really quick, and the second thing I'll discuss in a little bit here. First thing is this. The NFL, 3 or 4 months ago, Donald Trump has sent you an invitation to provide a list of people that you feel may have been wrongly convicted or are serving sentences that don't weigh on the crime, or maybe they were innocent or whatever. You have yet to you did respond. You responded in video saying that, hey, no, you know, for you to say that we have to give you a list of all these people is kind of dumb, yada, yada, yada. It's unrealistic, yada, yada. I'm paraphrasing here. But then they go on to say, you know, what needs to happen is you must have not listened to us correctly, because what we're asking for is complete reform of these laws and structure, the way things are handled. Come on, guys. Come on. I mean, if you're going to you can save 5 people's lives today. Doesn't take a long, tough Google search. Heck, if it's family and immediate friends, tweet him. Say @RealDonaldTrump. I'm an NFL player. Here's my list of 5. But please also acknowledge that there needs to be reform and some changes in the system. Whatever your cause is. You guys are saying that you don't want to do your homework. You don't want to help individuals. You keep saying oppression, but you're being given every opportunity in the book to provide information so stuff can happen. You start with a little bit. He's giving you the whole world right now. He's giving you the entire United States. He's giving that to you, and he's giving you his word that he will be actually, like, he's kept his word for pretty much everything throughout here. There's a lot of conflicts in between of things that he hasn't kept, war and the border wall, but those are obviously bipartisan issues that can't be hammered out just with executive order. So I mean, you guys have this opportunity, but you're not taking it. That jumps into my next issue about his tie. All the people, I think there was one who had an officer who is now serving a sentence. I can't remember the names of most of these people, but there's one there's an officer serving like a 25 or 20-year sentence or something like that for second-degree murder, I believe. I can't remember. But here's the thing. All these people were people that were already in criminal activity during these processes, except one. I think Sandra Bland. Sandra Bland, she was in a cell and she committed suicide. I can't say I know the specific details of that particular case, but I do understand that no officer was directly involved with her committing suicide. That was her decision. And correct me if I'm wrong, people. I don't know. But everybody else, all the other 12, I mean, everybody else in there, they were all running away from officers, not abiding by officer orders. One of them wasn't even an officer. The big one, the one that was in Florida, Trayvon Martin. And I mean, you're saying this is all because of police brutality. I'm sorry. None of these cases, you know what at least 12 of these names on the ties have in common? That if these individuals, these 12 individuals were to just listen to the officer, what would have happened? And if they would have listened to the officers, I'm pretty sure a lot of them would have been alive today, if not all of them. No, but they resist arrest. All of these people I'm talking about in this tie, they resist arrest. They failed to listen to the officer. They failed to comply with legal authority. Heck, look, I just got a parking ticket the other day. This is my first ticket in like 6 or 7 years. I just got it the other day, and I'm gonna pay it. I'm gonna pay. I committed the crime. I'm not gonna go. Look, I know what I did, and it's crime. The infraction, whatever, the minor infraction. I know what I did. I'm just gonna do what needs to be done. I can't fight it. I mean, I can't fight it, but I mean, to what cost? You know, I did what I did, and I'm not gonna tarnish our laws just because I want to save a buck on my ticket. I did what I did. I know what I did. I will pay. So that's the other thing. Years ago, I was involved in, okay, so I'm not sure how I'm going to say this right, but years ago, I was involved in a scuffle. It was a complete misunderstanding. I got involved. I thought somebody else initiated this issue because there was, let's put it this way, there was some physical contact to me directly, and the situation wasn't right. I mean, there was drinking and stuff involved, and it was pretty big, and I was completely intoxicated. And anyways, I get in this fight. I didn't hit anybody. My punches didn't land. I made myself look like a fucking fool. Lesson learned. Look, even an idiot like me who went through this, guess what happened? I got the bouncer ended up grabbing me and putting me under control, basically saying don't continue, just stop, whatever, because he knew I was like out of it. And and I go outside and there's officers waiting. And the officers, instead of me continuing my rant, even in my drunken phase, this is me being fucking stupid, even in my drunken splendor. And again, this is the only time something like this has ever happened in my life. It was a huge, I don't know how to say this. I drank liquor, I drank beer, I drank a lot of different mixed drinks because they were all just being thrown at everybody, and it was a great time. It was like, I didn't feel anything. And then it just kicked in, like I think about after an hour and a half. So it was a pretty big deal for me that I put myself in that situation. So anyways, I could have done everything, like argued and done this and done that. But you know what? I knew what happened at that moment when I was grabbing, like, oh fuck, I just did something stupid. I did something stupid. And I gave in. I said, look, cuff me. They cuffed me. I didn't have to ask. They cuffed me. I willingly put my hands, in my back. They sat me down on a police car bumper for about maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. They were going to see if the people that I apparently was throwing swings at stupidly, and thank God I missed. They declined to press charges because they saw the circumstance. But here's the thing: even with me being that stupid in that civilian scenario there, in that civic scenario there, in public, I complied with the officers. I was already viewed as somebody who was committing assault on another, or attempted assault on somebody else, whether it was in my whether in a drunken splendor or consciously or whatever. I did those actions, and I put my hands behind my back. I'm like, whatever happens here because I did whatever I did, and I have to pay whatever consequence happens from that. Nothing happened to me. The officers were talking to me normally as I was cuffed, sitting there. Asked for my information, where it was. I was polite back and forth. I was so drunk, but I remember all this. And they declined. The people that were involved declined to press charges. I'm pretty sure it would have been different if I landed a punch, but they landed something on me. They landed what I thought was aggro on me. So I mean, it went both ways. So anyways, I listened. I complied. Guess what? An officer didn't shoot me. An officer didn't do anything bad to me. I complied. I sat there, I complied. I eventually, after 35, 45 minutes, an hour, I don't know, I was drunk. I was uncuffed, and I was let go. I was let go. Guess what? I fucking survived. I'm here to tell the whole story. And that's why I can't stand it when people say that, oh no, we're victims, and then you look at the guy, Marquise McLaughlin, who goes out and pushes somebody. Look, that could have been me. I would not have known if I would have been shot. And you know what? I would have been rightfully shot. Rightfully shot. Boy, was I fortunate that I wasn't. This is years back when I was still kind of stupid. And Not that I'm not stupid right now, but I mean, lesson learned. I was given a golden ticket in that scenario. I really was. Who knows? You know, with aggravated assault like that, I probably would have either had to serve some time, definitely pay a fine, fines, whatever, things I wouldn't be able to afford with all my other expenses and stuff. But, you know, I look at that as a learning opportunity. Mr. Moss, you're not, you on the other hand, you're not giving the full truth. You're putting names out there. You're exploiting these names. Not even. They've already exploited themselves. But I think you see what I'm saying here. You're putting those names out there, pushing a narrative saying that they're actually victims of police brutality, when that's far from the truth. All you're doing is you're revving up, I'll just say it right now, you're revving up the black community, those who look at them as victims already, and you're riling them up a little bit more, just because you're not giving them the whole story. You're saying, oh, you know what, the cops were at fault here, is basically how you're compactly putting it. And it doesn't teach that community any lessons, so that this stuff, these scenarios could lessen. You know, if Marquise, he wasn't on your tie, but if Marquise McLaughlin did not push, I forget the other guy's, James Guntiere or whatever, if he didn't push him to the ground and instead went up civilly and asked, hey, you know, what's going on here? Can we discuss what's going on here? No, he had to take the aggro out on that guy, push him down, and look, I did the same thing too when I was in a drunken mess. These guys were sober. He was with his family. But then again, you know, he was caught in the past with selling illegal drugs like cocaine. He did, Marquise McLaughlin did, his public record shows that he was committing domestic battery, got cops called on him, and then was resisting police arrest with force. He was forcefully resisting arrest. So these all play into the narrative of what I'm talking about here. You do not get ahead by saying, oh, you know, he was a victim, all 13 of these people were victims. It does not work that way. You have 13 lessons to be learned here for the black community, and maybe a handful of officers, one in particular who's serving a 20+ sentence here. But you're using the wrong narrative for a good opportunity. You instead could say, you know, these people, they were all arrested, but they all did this, this, and this, and this that led up to their, they were all killed, but they did this, this, and this, and this that led to their ultimate death and demise, their own actions. But no, you choose to blame the officers. You don't choose to solve problems. You can choose to continue this narrative, and it just lets people, I don't know what you're trying to do. Are you trying to change the laws to make it where people can get away with shit like this over and over and over again, and say that our laws are just laws that are actually just and equal for every American citizen, regardless of color? Look, I abided by them as a brown man. I abided by them, and I'm still living to see the day. If I was going to be acting aggressively, I'm pretty sure I would have been cuffed, placed into the back of the squad car, and then taken to prison, to jail, fined, and then had to serve with both aggravated assault. Maybe they would have pressed charges. The officer would have said I was resisting arrest, maybe with force. Who knows? All this could have mounted. But you know what? Even in my drunken splendor, I was smart enough to know when I was after that, if that scenario happened, to stop and be collected for that little less than an hour there. You need to start spreading those stories. We don't change our laws to accommodate the acts, the stupid ass acts of people getting themselves into trouble. We don't change the laws for that. People pay the price when they don't listen to officers. Okay, when an officer tells you to do something, stop fucking talking, stop bitching. When a judge tells you to shut up, and you continue to shut up, you're going against the system there. And I think there was a case recently where a judge ordered officers to put tape on this guy's mouth, gag him, physically put tape over his mouth.
I just met this attorney the other day.
That's fine. So here, okay,
I came and took my cell phones yesterday, and they came and took all my property out my cell today.
Mr. Williams, I'm the judge in the matter. Shut your mouth, and I'll tell you when you could talk. You got it? It's the same rules we played by while we were here in trial every time we were here for a pretrial. So just follow the same rules. Fair enough? So at this point, I'm going to hear from your lawyers, and that means zip it.
But you're not letting me tell
That
you
means
what's going on.
zip it right now.
You trying to?
Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't.
No. Does the comment quit talking? Do you understand that?
Because you're trying to take my life. Judge,
No.
And you're not letting me tell you what's going on.
Take
It's
your
not
life
fair.
for what? What do you mean your
It's
life?
not fair. You're trying to take my life.
What does that mean?
On the document.
Again, I'm going to interrupt. Mr. Williams, listen. Listen to me. If we have to, I will gag you in 1 second. So listen to me. You will get a chance to talk. I'm going to gag you in 1 second. So just listen to me. Zip it until I give you a chance to talk. You'll get a chance to talk. I am going to give you a chance to talk. Here it is again. So you said to me you understand this comment. Zip it. Right now.
Why don't you let it play about me getting shackled on the bus for a whole week? Let that play.
Mr. Williams will...
Mr. Williams, be very simple to gag you. You'll get a chance to speak. So tell me.
Black women just walked in here.
Okay,
So I have not even been around.
Let's go back.
Peers.
I'm zipping. Anything you want to add to your insanity? And the
Put me on
jury
trial. That's
came
a
back with
violation
a
of the HIPAA
verdict.
law. That's a violation of the HIPAA law, Judge.
Here we go. I'm going to tape it,
Put me on trial.
and then I'll
I'm not
unzip it
issue.
when I want you to talk. Because the young lady over here can't take down everything. You know how this works. We've been in the courtroom hundreds, well, at least 50 times as we prepared for trial. I'll give him a chance to speak his sentence.
Yeah, take me out.
No, I'd like you to speak.
Mr. Williams, I want to make it real clear. If you spit on, attempt to bite, or injure any of my deputies,
none of that, man.
you're going to have a bad day.
None of that.
Oh, you
Put the
clear.
tape on me, man. We done with this shit. It is what it is.
We'll go back on the record. Mr. Williams will have a chance to speak.
And I'll be monitoring everything I say.
Go ahead.
How can I
The judge regrets it, but the guy would not shut up. That's the same thing earlier this year in December, or late last year, when Luis Bracamontes, an illegal alien, mind you, I would not be able to get away with this as a legal minority American. Tell a judge the things that he was telling the judge. You know, if you let me out, I'm just gonna go kill more cops. I covered this year. Look at my video in January.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're able to step out of the hallway.
Dead. I will break up soon and I will kill more.
He was basically belittling the crowd. He kills 2 officers. He shoots an unarmed black man getting into his vehicle. He was the only one that survived the Luis Bracamontes assault on everybody. And Luis Bracamontes, during the trial, he would basically just be laughing at him, making crass remarks to all the families. He's like, you know, and he would look at the families who are sitting in the courtroom, and he would say basically, you know, if you should have seen the look in their faces, you know, as they were dying, or whenever I did this, it was so funny, laughing about it. This illegal alien gets away with disrespecting the judge. Yes, I'm going off the deep end here, people, but hear me out. All these people that are getting away with being disrespectful to our judicial system, being disrespectful to judges, we couldn't get away with that as a regular American citizens. Well, I'm not going to bend the rules for them. That judge was allowing this issue to happen over and over and over again. Kept telling Luis Bracamontes, you know, if you keep up this, I'm going to have to kick you out, and you're not going to be here for the rest of the hearing. And then he would leave, and then he would come back. He would invite him over and over and over and over again to continue. The guy abused the law multiple times. He disrespected the courts. At least 12 of these people on your tie disrespected authority, law, police authority, police rules. They caused their own demise. They started with the actions that were called on them by the public, saying, hey, you know, Michael Brown, you know, this kid, you know, it's not hands up, don't shoot people. It's not. He steals. He assaults. I'm sorry. But when and then even afterwards, you're not listening to an officer, and then you're trying to grab guns. Give me a fucking break. This is why you guys are dying in big numbers, because you're refusing to look at the real message, and the real message, listen. Learn the legal system. God, maybe it should be taught in schools already. I really wish it was. Learn the judicial system. Learn the law. Learn how police are. Learn what you have to do learn how to communicate with police officers. That's all you gotta fucking do. You don't have to be this fucking asshole that gets yourself killed.
Are you a law-abiding citizen with nothing to hide that lives in a constant state of fear that you'll be violently murdered by the police? No? Well, me neither, but apparently there are a lot of people that feel this way. When interacting with the police, you want to avoid saying such classics as, "Fuck you pig, I didn't do shit, I know my rights, you're gonna get fired," and "Don't taser me, bro." Replace those with yes, no, please, thank you, and "May I reach into my left pocket to retrieve my identification, sir?" Here's a harsh rule of thumb in life. If they have a gun, they make the rules, so just shut the fuck up and play along, even if you're absolutely sure you did nothing wrong. Put a big fake smile on your face, don't make any sudden movements, keep your hands where the officer can see them, and obey the officer's commands. Trust that things will be sorted out later if you haven't done anything wrong. This really shouldn't be all that difficult if you are in fact not a criminal. You can make the job of the police a whole lot easier by simply obeying the law. Not being a criminal greatly reduces your risk factor of being fatally shot by the police. You will also tend to be a lot less anxious interacting with the police if you haven't just committed a crime and don't have any arrestable warrants hanging over your name.
And then you have people like Mr. Moss here, who gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, saying, not giving the complete story, and just basically saying that it's a complete lie. I don't know where to go from here. Stop fucking doing what you're doing. If you really want to change, stop it. I mean, fuck, look at Chicago here. What are you guys trying to break? The Memorial Day weekend year after year after year? You're going for records here, like at the end of summer instead of the beginning of summer. I don't know what are you guys trying to show off? And then stealing 60 plus people this last weekend. I don't understand it. There are lessons to be learned, and it's not from the officers. It's from the people that are actually committing these crimes, and then the people that are softening the blow, allowing this to continue to happen, like you guys. You guys might have good intentions, Mr. Moss. Anybody who, you guys all have good intentions. It seems like your little speech was cool when you were getting inaugurated into the Hall of Fame, but you're not giving the complete story, so you're being disingenuous, in my opinion. That's my thoughts on this subject. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you know the history of all of these 12 cases? I'm going to have to go back and look at the Sandra Bland one personally. I know a lot of it, but I can't remember the outcome and the scenario that led up to the situation there. I just remember some weirdness and a blanket and whatnot. So other than that, let me know your guys' opinions and thoughts. If you want to go ahead and post in the comments the specifics of these cases as well, maybe even pointing out the past criminal activity of these people, if they did have past criminal activity. I think there were a couple that didn't, but there were a lot that did. Post them in the comments below. I would like the thread below. Be whatever you want, obviously. Like, hate, subscribe, don't subscribe. Cuss me out, whatever. But know that I'm trying to help you out here by making sure that we do the right things. We don't mask. Here it is. We do not mask the fact that you are responsible for yourself and your own actions. Otherwise, they'll get you into trouble. And that's what's happened to these 13, at least 12 of the 13 people on the tie here. Leave your comments below. I always appreciate them. Like, hate, comment, subscribe, share. Follow me on BitChute, please, because we don't know what's going to happen on this channel anymore. And peace out.